Rathbone Society is a social mobility foundation that provides outreach for over 80 young people in Lambeth. They provide anything from travel assistance to 24/7 care. Their services allow people with learning disabilities to live independently and integrate with society. Our main aim for this project was to improve Rathbone's working technology by reducing the time taken to perform their weekly tasks, with the end result being saving money and a better utilisation of staff.
We have around 80 service users right now that are being supported by 40 staff. This is all quite personalized, so not every staff member can work with every service user. It is all based on their needs, on their preferences, on their cultural backgrounds, and also on the abilities of the support workers. Things change in our lives and they also change in the service users' lives. So the rotas that we produce for both support workers and service users aren't same every week. They can't be. My job on a weekly basis is to produce those rotas for both support workers and service users, taking into account the changes I've already mentioned, and as well as the needs of the support workers, so their days off, trainings, annual leave, and various other requests. So my week usually consists of taking all the data, putting it on paper, and then day by day until Friday trying to input it in the system so everybody's happy. Now, on Monday, someone takes this data, my admin assistant, and converts this into an accessible rota for service users. So it's more, accessible, readable. What I produce is just simple words and digits for people with learning disabilities. Very often it's not comprehensible. So the admin assistant out of this creates a rota which they will understand. So instead of the digits you have clocks, instead of the names you've got pictures. So every week they receive a rota which shows exactly what time and who's coming on which day. This process takes the admin assistant, who also has a learning disability, around 3 days. After which it gets posted by one of our volunteers who comes in every Wednesday.
Our initial idea was to fully replace Jack's software with an all-encompassing, bespoke, web-based solution. We quickly realised this would exceed both our time and resource budget. A month into the project, we changed tact and started working on enhancing Jack's existing software, aiming to migrate the valuable data kept in spreadsheets or locked up in Jack's head. We also decided to simultaneously create a tactical solution to automate accessible report generation, which could take extracts from Jack's rostering system and translate them into accessible rotas. We split ourselves into two teams, the data migration team and the accessible reports team, working simultaneously alongside Jack. We took an agile approach to the project, working in monthly sprints using a virtual scrum board to track the progress of tasks. We also had weekly working sessions with Jack, which we used for planning, discussion and testing of solutions. Here's what Jack thought about those.
So I was invited to the JP Morgan headquarters on a weekly basis, and every week I would tell the team what our plans were, and they would put it into life. Sometimes obviously my ideas in my head were much bigger than what we could achieve, but by me coming every week we could prioritize what can be done and what can't be done, and they would have an input from me as well as to what can be tweaked and what needs to be tweaked. So this list of priorities could be revised on a weekly basis. It was quite amazing for me to see what those guys can achieve from week by week, really. And I think that by investing this time, it was only really 4 hours per week, they could have a better understanding of what we need, and I also had a better knowledge of what can be done and what I can expect for our organization.
In order to make Jack's rostering system smarter and more effective, we had to input the many complex constraints that define his weekly rostering choices. This data consisted of things like client preferences, worker capabilities, as well as historical records of previous visits. To do this, we set up spreadsheets to first collect the data, and then from those created SQL scripts to insert the data into a parallel test version of Jack's production database, copying it over into production once Jack had verified the outcome. For the accessible reports, we first created what we called our tactical solution, which was a standalone app that could consume a dump of Jack's weekly roster and produce an accessible report in HTML. Realizing the potential overhead in maintaining this solution after the project's closure, we then created our integrated solution, a plug-in to Jack's existing software that created the accessible reports straight from his database.
Support session need to be delivered on a weekly basis to service users. Now the team Force for Good enabled us to migrate all of it into the system we currently have to make the rostering process much faster. Also, every week I would create a report that would then get converted into an accessible rota for service users. This report looks like this, but we cannot send something like this to people with learning disabilities. So on a weekly basis, our team admin assistant would create something like this that would take him 3 days. Well, now after the Force for Good team have created an app for us, this takes 30 seconds. So we saved pretty much 71 hours per week. First of all, in the future we would like to get rid of the paper for both environmental reasons as well as the amount of work it creates. Later, according to law, we have to store all this paper for years and years, and if it's all on paper, then it has to be scanned, and that's a separate job for someone. We would also like our support workers to have the technology in hand whilst they're out in the community, to plan their routes better, to plan their sessions better, to enable the service users to go to different places.
Throughout this project, we had some key learning points to take into future projects. Firstly, the value in working closely with the client, keeping a close feedback loop so they can shape development and prioritise features. Secondly, it's not always best to simply throw away the existing system and start again. There may be more capability to unlock. Finally, we learn the importance of managing client expectations to ensure the end goals are clear for everyone.
Force for Good was an enriching experience for me. I had the chance to work with a great team of technologists all sharing the same goal and motivation. This 7 months journey with the process of understanding the client's requirements, working in order to find the best solution for them, and combining all our technology expertise for a social good fills me with satisfaction, pride, and motivates me to do better in my personal and professional life.
It started as a real effort, project that I felt I should be doing for good cause of these things, but I had undefined goals. We didn't know how we were going to get there. It very quickly turned into something I really enjoyed going every Friday to. It was great to see the real teamwork in the way how the solutions were taken or approached, how decisions were made, and how all of us worked together. This and the true commitment from the client who came into the office every Friday during his time off. That's what was made a project success. For me personally, I met some great people. I experienced rare moments of project delivered on time, and I made real friends.
I saw Force for Good email popped up in my inbox. I wasn't sure that it was a good idea to carry out an extra work beyond my normal day-to-day work. Looking back, I think it was a great idea. I met new blood of technologists and carried out some work that made the real difference to the society.
Working on the Force for Good project has been a wonderful opportunity for me. I've worked with some really great analysts and the other project leads. They've done a fantastic job providing a solution for Rathbone that's not only sustainable but also something that's actually going to allow them to provide more services to their end users. I think the commitment that Jack showed as well was phenomenal. Coming in every week without fail allowed us to really work and produce something that was going to be beneficial for them as an organisation.